Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. It is Saturday, and when Saturday is on, we come alive. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you're having a great weekend. Let somebody know that ZBTR is alive and share the link with them. We have an interesting discussion for you today. I'm waiting for my guests to log in and everything else. Before we do that, just to share some community information, I want to congratulate our community leaders here in Dallas, Texas. We have a new executive for the association, and they have some exciting things for us in the coming few weeks and days. Now, here, I want you to watch this video clip as we go on before we begin our show today.
Hello, my name is Nellie Matatila Bartholomew, and I am both grateful and honored to be your president in the DFW area. I have called the Dallas-Fort Worth area home ever since I moved from Zambia 20 years ago. And in these 20 years, I have come to know some of you as you have known me and my family. As your leader, I would love to see nothing more than a united Zambians in DFW. I would love for us to take that same energy and zeal and passion that we exhibit in showing those that are bereaved in everything that we do as a people. When we moved to the United States, we moved here with a vision and a plan to prosper our lives. Why? Because America is the land of opportunity, right? So now that we're here, I would love for my team and I to partner with you all to prosper us in our health, in our wealth, and in all our affairs. Your Vice President, Ms. Brenda Chama, my Vice President, is passionate about this community. She is a registered nurse with ideas on how we as a community can be healthy, not just mentally, but physically as well. Your treasurer, our treasurer, Mr. Lamek Kaira, has plans on how we can prosper financially as a community. We want to communicate those ideas that we have with you all. So June 15th at 11 a.m., please take some time and join us for a virtual town hall. We've been apart too long and we haven't had dialogue in a long time. It is time that we sat down and communicated our plans to you all, and also take that time to hear from you. It is important for us to know what you would like to see as a community. Because going forward, as president, my goal is to make sure that we plant seeds for trees that generations to come will enjoy the shade. Thank you, and God bless you all.
All right, so that's a message for the Dallas community, and we congratulate Nelly, Brenda, and Lamek. They are going to put a team together which is going to lead this community. And the important thing to note there, my Dallas people, is that on the next week on Saturday, we're going to have a town hall meeting, which is going to be virtual at 11 a.m. Central. Okay. We are ready for our show, our discussion, and our conversation. I hope you are ready too. And my guest today is Musonda Mwango. He is an activist and a business consultant, and he's ready to give us his perspective and his views on certain things that we are going to talk about. Good morning. How are you?
How are you? You said good morning. That was good because you cut up with my time zone. Yeah, good morning
Yeah,
is good. I'm in Oregon, so yes.
you're right. I
There is-
appreciate you doing this early in the morning. I know it's not a small thing to wake up at
It's
7
on a
a.m.
Saturday too, so
Yeah,
oh my gosh, I woke
that's what
up.
community service entails. You have to sacrifice. And so, how are you?
Well, you know what? I'm okay. I'm I'm still sleepy, so here you go.
It's okay. It happens. I also wake up.
I woke up for you.
Of course. Yeah, you have to do it for Pastor Nathan.
I is fascination. Yeah, okay. I woke
All
up
right.
for you. That was good.
Let's get into this discussion. Our
Yes,
theme
sir.
today is faith or hard work, miracle money versus entrepreneurship. Musonda is going to give us a perspective. He has served at a high level in ministry, and he's lived in different parts of the world, and we're going to look at Christianity from different angles. So, growing up, you had an interesting religious experience in relation to your early days of school, which we call elementary in the US and primary in Zambia.
You know,
Mm,
you
tell us about it and how it happened. It
you
opened
know,
up your
you know,
mind.
you know. This is stuff that's not talked about very often,
Hmm.
and it's kind of weird because it's not. I think it's not common. So like you don't ever see it from a perspective of like, okay, is it even something that you understand from a farmer's perspective, or is that in perspective of being raised up?
Mm.
Um, yeah, I grew up in a school that was primarily, you know, you know, in a very honest perspective, it was very Hindu.
Okay.
Yeah. So I grew up singing songs that were Hindu.
Wow.
And then I moved on from that. Oh my gosh. And the whole time, like my parents didn't actually understand the whole thing. No, no, they didn't understand it. Um, and I went to India. What? I went 2 times to India. It was a very, very different time to go out and do all that stuff and understand it from perspective of like, okay, such a size school. And I'm gonna name the school today because I want people to understand it from exactly what it is. I'm not putting it out there from a perspective of like
Uh-huh.
um no, it was a great school. It was a very great school.
Okay.
Um,
What type of curriculum did they have? What type of curriculum was it?
oh, it was great. It was great.
Hmm.
No, they didn't show you anything that was like, okay, well, whatever. No, it was great curriculum in terms of just academics and stuff. No, it was really great.
Okay.
You can never go bad on that. The only thing was you also had this component that had to do with the religious part, and that part was and it was strong. It was very strong.
When you say strong, what do you mean? For somebody watching who may not understand, they want to
Okay,
get
so in the morning you wake up and you go to school, and they put you in a space where you have to sing, and you're
you
singing.
keep talking about this singing thing. What type of singing was this? Would you how would you in relation to Christianity, would you call it like what we do in church, praise and worship? Is it the same thing?
I think I would go probably a little, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
think I think there was a part of that went there, and um, at least for me. So So I'm gonna change it up for a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
For me, for somebody that was very connected to the situation,
Mm.
um, I was connected in a very different way.
Explain.
Um, man, I went to India twice.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to see the man.
Who's the man?
The man was say Sai Baba.
Tell our viewers who that is.
Oh, well, that's the biggest guru that came out of India.
Mm.
The last time I figured out who this guy was in
Mm-hmm.
2011, and it was very interesting because I'm like, okay, so this guy, whatever, and this guy was worth $5 billion
Oh wow.
when he died.
Oh, he died.
Yeah, he's dead.
The one you met died.
That's the guy that founded the school in Zambia, in Pamosi. That was the
Oh,
guy
okay.
that founded the school. The people that founded the school, it was yeah,
Mm.
that was the guy.
Okay. Okay. So okay, we've exhausted that.
Yeah,
So when you served, when you served in Christian ministry, you actually went up to, when you and I were talking, you went up to the level of what you might, up to pastoral level, right? Worship
and it's
lead.
probably the biggest thing that I did because
Hmm.
at the end of the day, it's like it's coming from there,
Yeah,
leading into that. And
exactly. That's
it,
what I want us to zero in and make our, you
let's
see,
go
that's
there.
what I want those
Let's
watching to
let's let's
understand
let's go,
that,
let's go there. Let's go there.
yeah, yeah, we need to
Um,
go there.
so so you start from that, right? You
Mm,
have that background of everybody coming at you. Well, not everybody coming at me, but you have that background and you understand. Okay, I did that, and then
mm.
you move into this whole thing, and then Jesus comes into your life,
There you go.
and then
Mm.
and then I move into this whole space, and then I moved to the US and I'm a worship leader.
Mm,
that's
mm.
that's completely different because
Right,
um
right there, right there. I prefer to, okay, everybody, his other name is Ruben, and I prefer to call him Ruben. Okay,
I
right there,
want to
Musonda.
Israel Musonda. I want to
Ewe, umfa. Right there. This transition from that experience you had at that school, and you get into Christianity. I want you to talk about how it influenced your mindset, your way of
okay.
looking at
Oh,
things.
okay.
Mm,
So this is what exactly informed me about it. First of all, I understood about other religions, right?
okay,
I
good.
got to understand, okay, like this is what it is and whatever. And honesty, I got to respect other religions.
Mm,
I never grew up doing that. Um yeah, that really taught me a lot about stuff. And to be honest with you, I respect all these religions. They can come at me and say, "Okay, oh my gosh, I'm Muslim. Oh my gosh, I'm," and for me, it's like, okay,
mhm.
let me take you for who you are, because at the end of the day, if I'm gonna draw you to my stuff,
When you say your
it's gonna
stuff,
be
you're
my,
talking
it's
about
gonna
your
be my,
Christianity.
it's gonna be my life
Mm,
that would draw into it. It's not gonna be the conversation. It's gonna be my life. My life will teach you, okay, we can do this. This makes sense for you.
mm,
This makes sense for whatever you're doing. But I can't sit there and think like, okay, if I sit there and I just talk to you, oh my gosh, I'm Christian. this is what it is. Nah, it doesn't work. And I understood that very well as I walked into this path with different religious perspectives.
Mm,
And I would tell you, one of the biggest things about my life has been like I've been exposed to Hinduism, right?
mhm,
And it's a religion that's not very close to what Zambia is.
mm.
I mean, there's a little bit of that ends up in that zone. I don't know. I mean, how much do you know about Hinduism?
Mm. Mhm.
No,
Let's not
it's a
go there.
question, man. Just answer the question.
I remember our conversations behind the scenes. I told you in school I learned about different religions. I mean, there are so many. I can't remember what I learned
It's
about
not
it.
about learning different religions. How much do you actually know about it?
Well, Hinduism has many gods. You can make a god out of anything you choose, isn't that so?
Do you understand that now? Okay,
Hmm.
good.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, um, you deal with that, and you grew. I mean, at least for me, um, in the way of how the school treated me, and what I got to learn. Oh my gosh, I went to India twice,
Talk
and
about. I want you to talk about that, Musonda. You've lived. You were born, raised in Zambia. You went to India several times. I
yeah,
believe you went. You've lived. You've been to Europe as well,
yeah, of course, yeah.
and then you live in the United States. Just try to circle, connect those dots, and what you observed in terms of faith and religion in those areas that you've lived.
So the Europe experience was nothing because it was like just getting out there and doing something. It doesn't matter. It was more business related, so
Hmm.
I can't really talk about it from a religious perspective.
Okay.
Um, I have to talk about it from perspective of like really understanding Asia and understanding the U.S.
Mm. Yeah, that's a
You,
good one. Let's do that. Let's do
you,
that.
you,
Make the comparison or draw the
uh,
parallels.
two big things, and I'll tell you this.
Mm.
No, I'm not even gonna go to. I'm gonna go back to Zambia too.
Okay.
Um, when you really think about it from a perspective that really understands this whole thing about religious thing, about I don't understand how everybody looks at faith right now. And right now, I'm going to ask you this. What do you think about how faith works in terms of how Christianity works?
So, and you are the one who's supposed to be answering my question.
I am, but this is a conversation.
Yes, I know. I
Okay.
know.
So if it's a conversation, I want to hear what your perspective. Your listeners actually like to hear from you too.
They hear from me all the time every Saturday.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do this. There's this other question I want to ask you. Um, so, in your view, give us some differences that you observed in terms of the leadership style and structure from that world, the Hindu side and the Christian side. Especially when you come into Christianity, I want us to zero in because our theme is faith versus hard work, entrepreneurship, or miracle money. So, talk about leadership style differences from the Hindu side, Christianity, and then also talk about the denominational structure and the independent churches because we have a lot of independent churches nowadays.
All right. So let's start with the hardship. Uh, let's talk about work. All right. So starting from that, you have to understand it from a perspective of like really understanding. Okay, how are you really looking at what you're doing? Um, okay. My job in Zambia, everything I did, and I did a lot, um, was a lot of work that I had to do with like just really going at it. And I went at it, and I went at it, and I went at it. But the community, in terms of like just what the industry really brought, I mean, did not exactly lend to me. No, what lended to me is when I came here and I came and lived in the US, and yeah,
Mm.
there's a lot that I did there. Now go to the next question.
What differences did you observe in leadership styles?
Um, the leadership stuff for me that made sense in what I've seen is really a little bit more of okay, I'm gonna say it this way, a little bit meanness. I hate to say it, a little bit of a certain level of meanness. Okay, meanness.
Which side? Which side are we talking about?
I'm talking about the person that's a manager. It's a certain level of meanness. I don't know how to say meanness in a Zambian way. Help me out. Meanness in in Bemba. How do you say that? Wakwata fyo muntu wakoba talking the boss, but alekwe, but it has to happen, and it has to happen now. And I think that part, I think for me, when I look back, like was like in Zambia.
Mm.
Um, it was something that you can have a boss that can really tell you, okay, man, don't you're not going that way. You're not going to do this. You're going to do that. And
Are you talking about the church environment or
oh,
the
we
general workplace setup?
okay. So you're going to talk about the church environment. We can
That's
go
what I
there.
want us to address.
Okay, so we
Hmm.
can go there. Um, the church, yeah, the church part is also that way. It's like you are. I'm talking about the corporate world. The corporate
No,
world.
no, no. I want us to focus on the church.
The church was like that. The church was you have to figure out. Okay, so Nathan, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna address this and tell people confidently. I was a worship pastor here
Hmm.
for a
Hmm.
long time. I've done it. I've lived here for 20 years. So about 14 years of my life here
Mm.
has been me being a pastor, a worship pastor.
Yes.
Um,
How was the leadership style when you served as pastor?
my leadership style
No,
or
no,
somebody
no.
else's
The
leadership?
person, the pastor, the church you served under, what type of leadership style was it?
I served in two different churches. So
Yeah, talk about both.
no, I can't talk about the people. It's fine. No, that's not okay. If I do that, no, that's not okay. I love my man. I love the people that I served under.
Okay, let's
But
move
but,
on.
but what I'll tell you
Mhm.
is how it played out in terms of like just serving. Like what was it like to just serve? And in my heart, the thing that drove me into a lot of things as a Zambian, right? And that's
Mm.
what I'm going to talk about. As a Zambian, it was very different to present myself as somebody that comes from a different country, right? Um, I could sit there and I could play music and when to work with this and that. This okay. And I had to start to transition into something that was more what they could actually accept.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna tell you this. One of the biggest things you have to understand is this. First of all, you have to get to a place where you understand what culture you're ministering to.
That's very important.
Because
Thank
a
you.
lot of people will show up with their own culture and be like, okay, I'm just presenting this. No, you have to understand who are you ministering to. And that's what I had to understand.
Hmm.
And once I understood that, then it was like, okay, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. There's a lot of musicians, for example, that I know in Zambia that I can, oh, yeah, I can bring this guy here. And one musician I brought here was obviously Ephraim. Ephraim.
Mm.
Ephraim was able to like go there with it because at the end of the day, Ephraim knew the assignment. And like no matter what it is, Nathan, I'm telling you right now, whatever we do in our ministry, whatever you do in your ministry, whatever I do in my ministry, the biggest thing is understanding what's my audience.
Okay.
Why am I doing this? What is it? It's it's always about that.
Yeah. Let's switch gears. What, in your opinion, do you think has led to the emerging of the Papa style of leadership and the teaching that goes with it?
Oh geez, I don't I that's really difficult. Okay, what led into it? Mm, wow, that's a hard subject. Yeah, what led into it? I kind of don't know what started it, but I think there's this thing about Africans that has always been about like um having somebody that's there that you kind of are holding on to.
Hmm.
And in the past, I'm gonna say colonialism. Yeah, I don't know. It was that, but also it's like this other thing of um yeah, I think the way we understand Christianity is very different. And I'm gonna say it right now on your show straight up. It's crap. I'm sorry. It's not anything that I can look at and I read the scriptures and I say,
Crap doesn't explain anything.
well, I'm gonna say I'm about to. I'm about to. It does not lead itself in scripture. You cannot kind of create this in scripture. And I could go and go down. I'm sorry. I'm a scriptural person. I've been to Bible school. I'm a theology guy. I could go into this, but I know it's not exactly really good if I do that because I just confuse people because of that stuff. And I
Okay.
don't want
Let's
so
take a break. Let's take a
listen,
break.
no, Nathan, listen to me.
Hmm.
Hear me out. That stuff is, man, it's just a lot of human stuff. That's what it is. And people need to understand about how much people really lead into that. And because the person of Jesus is not making sense anymore. So the person of whoever that person is That's what making sense. The person of Jesus is not making sense. And as much as I could say anything I could ever say, the person of Jesus has to be at the center of it.
No.
And does that really matter to a lot of people sometimes? No, they don't see that because they
Mm.
the guy that's got the shiny shoes and the nice little jacket and whatever. So that person shows up and that's what it is. You have to remember exactly who Jesus is in the middle of all that. And you have to say to yourself, can I see the king in this?
Okay. Let's take a break.
Let's do it.
Hello, my name is Nellie Matatila Bartholomew, and I am both grateful and honored to be your president in the DFW area. I have called the Dallas-Fort Worth area home ever since I moved from Zambia 20 years ago. And in these 20 years, I have come to know some of you as you have known me and my family. As your leader, I would love to see nothing more than a united Zambians in DFW. I would love for us to take that same energy and zeal and passion that we exhibit in showing those that are bereaved in everything that we do as a people. When we moved to the United States, we moved here with a vision and a plan to prosper our lives. Why? Because America is the land of opportunity, right? So now that we're here, I would love for my team and I to partner with you all to prosper us in our health, in our wealth, and in all our affairs. Your Vice President, Ms. Brenda Chama, my Vice President, is passionate about this community. She is a registered nurse with ideas on how we as a community can be healthy, not just mentally, but physically as well. Your treasurer, our treasurer, Mr. Lamek Kaira, has plans on how we can prosper financially as a community. We want to communicate those ideas that we have with you all. So June 15th at 11 a.m., please take some time and join us for a virtual town hall. We've been apart too long and we haven't had dialogue in a long time. It is time that we sat down and communicated our plans to you all, and also take that time to hear from you. It is important for us to know what you would like to see as a community. Because going forward, as president, my goal is to make sure that we plant seeds for trees that generations to come will enjoy the shade. Thank you, and God bless you all.
All right. So next week, Nelly and her team are going to be my guests here so that they share their vision and the direction forward on how they are going to take the community. And Dallas people, remember next week, Saturday at 11 a.m., we're going to have a town hall meeting so that we engage with our leaders and discuss with them and ask the questions that need to be asked. Okay, I think we shall pick up this conversation and do it when we are sort of in a better position to do this. All right, everybody, we shall see you next week.
Zambia Blog Talk Radio.